What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gutter to Glory. It's your boy JK. It has been a hot minute, and yes, some mistakes were made, but there's big news that come with the mistakes. So episode 19 has us playing in the conference championship game at the end of last season, when I don't even remember who we played. I think it was like Rice or UTEP or something. We played them in the conference championship and won, and then immediately following that, I played the bowl game and went through the off season, and none of it recorded. So this is really awkward. But the good news is we are the man in charge. Seth Luttrell has departed. We are now the head coach, joined by Phil Bennett, still here, and Tim Beck, our new offensive coordinator. So we're in charge. We're the head man. It is our job to get this North Texas team to the mountaintop, or to achieve our ultimate goal, which is becoming the head coach at the University of Michigan. Oh man, it's been a while since I've recorded. I had COVID, and then work has absolutely killed me. We have been short-staffed like crazy. But we're back. We're back. This is going to be coming back somewhat consistently, I hope. Hopefully at least one episode a week. I'm going to stick to playing offense because I suck at defense. I have not played this game in, a couple months. But we are the head coach of the North Texas Mean Green. Coming off a year where I believe we won the conference championship. We won our bowl game, the RL Carrier Bowl, for the second straight season. And 11-3 going, and now we have this whole thing to ourselves. We get to run our defense, we get to run our offense, which we are already running, being the offensive coordinator. But we are in charge of getting this man, Chris Mitchell, to the promised land. 98 overall, junior. Ramon Freeman, Sifa Leota, Akiko Ragsdale, now the tailback. Richard Martin still here. No Oscar Attaway, obviously. Kyle Woods waiting in the pipeline, already an 86 as a redshirt sophomore. Nobody cares about the fullbacks, but Clayton Gaither and Nick Newton, the sophomore super duo here in Denton. This is going to be huge. I'm expecting a huge season for Gaither. He showed a lot in his freshman year with the 19 catches, 5 touchdowns. We only played like half the games, but did fantastic. Newton, 4 catches, 1 touchdown. We're set up really well. The offensive line is nice and stout. Jamal Heron's an 80 overall. Gabe Blair's a 94 in his senior year, the hometown kid from Denton. We're going to have to beef up that offensive line. Aaron Colvin, an 83 as a redshirt junior. Joe Davenport, an 87 overall redshirt senior. This could be our year. Tommy Snyder still locking it down on the right side. Gave up, the stats don't say he's locking it up, but Tommy Snyder has been rather reliable on the right side of the offensive line. Big-time freshman Steve Nunez on the left end, opposite of Matthew Irvin, who 2 sacks in his freshman year, looks to up his performance. Defensive tackle William Gandy still here, only a half a sack in 2 seasons, looking to play a pretty big role in the middle of the defense. Obviously, Sifa Leota, monster season last year, not as big as the year before, his sophomore year. John Quinn in the middle, the sophomore. I'm gonna need a big year from him, along with Ryan Weaver. Crazy freshman year for Weaver. I believe he ended up being an All-American. Jordan Mukes, Matthew Miller, the Matthew Miller, looking for his first career interception. He's gonna have to be locked down, along with Matt Bond, the senior. We're getting kind of old, but that's okay. Right where we want to be, right in our championship window, I think. Sink Williams and Ramon Freeman, a part of that big class, one of our early years here. So I think I'm going to set up the recruiting board. Obviously, we're starting out the season as number 24 in the nation. I don't even know what this team needs. It's been so long, but I'm looking forward to getting back to it and seeing where we can get. Hopefully, we can get that head coaching job at Michigan. We might fall into it at the right time, but I'm going to go through the recruiting board, set the depth chart, the schedule ready, and I'll see you guys in week 1. All right, so a quick look at the recruiting board. We're looking at Big Kevin Davis, Morgan City, Louisiana, number 36 defensive tackle in the nation. He's looking at pretty much all the Texas schools minus Tech. Looking to pair him with the number 4 defensive tackle in the nation, Sean Wright from Eufaula, Alabama. I was interested to see, oops, wrong button again. 270 point bonus, 230 for Kevin Davis. If we can kind of keep, I think if we can get a good lead on Davis, he might be a little overlooked being the number 36 defensive tackle in the nation. But I like the 81 strength. I like the 76 finesse moves, weirdly enough, in the middle for a defensive tackle. But 81 block shed, 82 tackle, 76 play rec. I think that's going to be massive in the middle of the defense. And then again, 81 strength, 75 block shed for Sean Wright. More power move than finesse. 78 play rec with 79 tackle. Not too bad. That would be a great defensive tackle pairing if we can get it. I think we can throw more points at these guys, especially the way I recruit, than these littler schools can. Not that Michigan State's a little school, but the other schools there are. Stephen Harvey, the number 17 athlete in the nation. I believe he was one of the ESPN 100 players, along with Sean Wright. We're third to start off in the rankings behind OU and Texas. 335 points for the San Antonio native. 6'5". Not really quite sure what we're looking at. We're looking more quarterback with the 80 throw power and 84 accuracy, 92 speed, 88 acceleration. He's decently elusive with 76 elusiveness, 90 carrying and 70 ball carrying vision. Could be huge. Just not going to make a lot of people miss. Could be a wide receiver, running back, quarterback is what I'm thinking. Very offensively looking is the best way to put it. Jason Keller, another wide receiver, 90 speed, 82 acceleration, 62 catching is kind of weak, but the 87 route running, 77 spat catch, and 73 catch in traffic, he could be really good down the road. 6-foot wide receiver from Bloomingdale, Florida. Then we have Carlton Grant from Humble, Texas, the number 3 guard in the nation, another one of the ESPN top 100 players. I don't have many of them, but I took what I think we needed, and I think bolstering the offensive line. We're getting kind of old there. A lot of juniors and seniors. It might be time to kind of get ahead of the game while we have some juniors. To get some really good freshmen, Carlton Grant would be a really great step in that direction. 4-star guard from Humble, Texas. Really, really balanced run pass block with 80 strength and 91 acceleration. He can get out in front. Then we're looking at a gem in Maurice Johnson, the number 37 tackle in the nation from Pennsylvania. Looking at a lot of Big East ACC schools. 74 overall. Much better. Well, not a marginally better run blocker than pass blocker. 83 strength, 83 acceleration. I think it would be huge if we could get him, again, kind of shore up the tackles. Tommy Snyder's a senior, and I think it's Aaron Colvin as our left tackle. He's a junior. So again, just kind of getting the ball rolling early. Only 110 points. Kind of hoping he gets overlooked. Same thing with Aaron Hawkins, number 49 tackle in the nation from San Leandro, California. Only 70 points. Some of these two guys, Johnson and Hawkins, they could be kind of rough to recruit. Both gems. Teams are going to take a notice quickly. 83 run block to 76 pass block. Excuse me, my numbers suck. 84 strength, 82 acceleration. Again, just getting a short up on the edges is a good step in the right direction. Then Tim Christian, the number 14 center in the nation, Louisville, Texas. Keeping him in the Longhorn State. 80 run block to 73 pass block. 83 strength, 84 acceleration. We could be really good on the ground in a couple of years. But again, just getting the offensive line re-shored up. We're going to be lacking some depth. Nick Gutierrez from Coppell, Texas. 5'10 corner, number 8 in the nation. 85 man, 85 zone. I think he would be a great fit. 58 tackle, but the 85 play rec with the 87 speed, 85 acceleration. I think, again, just some depth. He'll be really good by the time his senior year rolls around. We could see him making an impact if we stick around. Josh King, a little bit of a project. 74 man, 76 zone is pretty decent, I think, for a 65 overall. His play recognition kind of sucks being a 61, but you know, if he's going to be good in coverage, he might be a step behind in the beginning. But I think by the time his senior year rolls around, he could be really good, possibly out of the slot. We need a strong safety right now. Just looking at Tony Porter from Nederland, Texas. We could look at the top 100, you know, midway through the season, look for some low lock guys. But Tony Porter right now is our guy that we're looking at. 67 zone coverage, 60 play recs, kind of weak. 72 tackle is what we're looking for in a safety. And then Adam Fry, we need a punter. We also need a kicker that I'll work on later. But he was interested from Zapata, Texas. And that is our recruiting board. Now, I think we'll get some points thrown at these guys in week 1. I'm going to go redshirt some people, and then I will see you guys in week 1. Week 1, we take on a Big Ten foe in Iowa. We have a preseason All-American. I'm going to let you guys assume who it is, because I'm pretty sure I know who it is. 7 conference All-Americans to start the year. I'm very excited. I would like to look through the top 25 schedule, the preseason, or schedule, whatever. The top 25 rankings. Florida number 1, Notre Dame number 2, Georgia, Miami, and Alabama round out your top 5, and that was very southern of me to say it that way. I don't know why. Washington, Northern Illinois missing out on Jay Ducker. How is that offense going to go this year? Ohio State, Clemson, and Utah, the top 10. Then we got Florida State, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Stanford, North Carolina, Texas, USC, Troy, UNLV, Maryland, Michigan at number 21. Their 4 stars prestige, they're starting to fall a little bit, it looks like. I don't even know what they were last year. Could the Big Ten schedule bite them a little bit? Could this be the year Jim Harbaugh retires? I don't know. We'll find out. Oregon 22, NC State 23, us at 24. Kansas rounds out the 25 with Baylor, Mid-Tennessee State, Arkansas, Akron, and Iowa State all knocking on the door. It could be a really interesting season for us. Obviously, Mid-Tennessee State not going to be a slouch. If they're there at the end of the year, they're going to be tough. Conference outlook obviously has us reigning supreme in the West. That's the Independents. And Middle Tennessee State looking to win their division and looking for their first conference championship since 2006. I thought they had won one a couple years ago. Heisman watch. Who's here to start the year? Chris Mitchell starts it out on top of the leaderboard. I believe he started out on top of the leaderboard last year, and it did not go well. Carlos Del Rio Wilson, Caleb Williams, Kamar Wheaton, and Joe Horton are your top 5 in the Heisman predictions, and you know what that means. Preseason All-American second team, Chris Mitchell. Very excited. Hopefully we can land on that first team and knock Caleb Williams out of the way. If we go to All-Conference USA real quick, Mitchell, obviously first team. Gabe Blair, first team. 2 of our 7 on the offense. Jordan Mukes, first team All-Conference to start the year. And then Tommy Snyder. Oh, geez, that went really quick. Tommy Snyder, John Quinn, and Matthew Miller, with Aaron Young, the punter, rounding it out. It's going to be a good year. I'm very excited. Look at our championship contender numbers. 24 right now, 10 next year, 9 the year after. I think, yeah, 2018 will be Chris Mitchell's last year. So, interesting to see where we go. We've come a long way since we were starting Austin Ayoun and Kaysen Martin. And now we're going to look to make our mark. I'm going to go through this recruiting board, sort it out, see what we can do with some points, and then it'll be on to week 1 versus Iowa. And here we go, taking on the Hawkeyes, week number 1 in the heart of Big Ten country. Obviously, the Hawkeyes, the home team, starting it out. What can we do traveling all the way from Little Denton, Texas to play in Kinnick Stadium? Really don't know what Iowa did last season. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've recorded. I'm going to be terrible. I'm playing on an Xbox controller to boot, so it's going to be a heck of a ride. Starting out the season at number 24, looking to make our way to number 1 in a national championship berth. We're going to kick off to start the season, and I'll see you guys on offense. First time on the season. First time on the field on offense on the season is what I meant to say. We're going to turn and give it to Ragsdale and Akika, I don't know how to pronounce that. Picks up 4 on the first carry. I don't know how long we'll go with him if he does not start producing. Obviously, we'll go to the man, Richard Martin, who had a good season last year. I just really need to concentrate on not hitting the wrong buttons, playing on the Xbox controller. We're going to throw, and Clayton Gaither, first catch on the season. And Gaither's got a wide open berth of green grass, making a man miss, and down to the 15-yard line. Clayton Gaither, how to start the sophomore campaign. Chris Mitchell, pitch and catch, and Gaither does all the hard work down the sideline. What a great start. This offense has the potential to bring all the firepower in the world. There's a blitz. We're going to find Walker, the tight end. He'll get down to the 1. And already 4 plays in, we're knocking on the door. Really don't know where I don't know what I want to do. We're going to get cute with it. We'll go with the shovel option. Mitchell's thrown for 93 yards on the first drive. Relatively easy, as he'll technically throw an incompletion. Well, I'll throw an incompletion. Bad read. Bad read. I'm not good at the game. Just here to have a good time. And Iowa's going to spread out the defensive line. We're going to walk it in. Ragsdale, first rushing touchdown on the year. And we march right down the field to score. This, hopefully, it means good things for us for the rest of the season, setting it off on the right foot. Defense gave up a long drive. So the offense should be nice and rested. Game tied at 7. Ragsdale, offensive line, opened it right up for him. Dropped the shoulder, big fella. 21-yard pickup to start the drive. Iowa's defense seems to be reeling a little bit after all the big plays on drive number 1. We've ran the ball decently so far. We'll go for a little play action, see if they'll bite in it. Bite on it, whatever. And we don't have time to get rid of it. I was looking downfield for Newton on a crosser. 2nd and 10, running the Cincinnati playbook. As Gaither, wide open on the sideline, will make it 3rd and short. But Mitchell, a lot of expectations to live up to this season. In the offseason, they were talking about some of the struggles he had at times in his sophomore year. And they're wondering if all the hype surrounding him as a Heisman candidate and a team that's as explosive as this one, as Ragsdale runs for an easy first down. But a team that has the tools to be as explosive as this one, if he can lead them to the promised land. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a 20-year-old kid or whatever he is. But he's going to look to flip the script on all the critics, as he's going to have to maneuver right now out of the pocket. Finds Coleman out of the slot, making a couple men miss. And we will end the first quarter with Brandon Coleman getting us into the red zone. I think that'll end the first quarter. It should end the first quarter. And it will. We end the first quarter tied at 7 with the Hawkeyes. Chris Mitchell on the move once again. Clayton Gaither, big play on the first drive. Offense rolling. Really, the big question with this team is the defense. What is the defense going to do? They're kind of unproven, as there's a lot of blocks downfield. Mitchell's going to walk it in from 15 yards out. There's a lot of questions on the defensive side of the ball. Young in spots, experienced in others, but you have to wonder if our experienced players are good enough to hang out. whatever. Keep up, there we go, with the top players in the nation. And there's only one way to find out, and a good early test here against Iowa. Against, you know, a team from a top conference. And we're going to find out our medal here early. As Rice leads Stanford by 7. And that's just how our conference is going to be. They're going to be tough. We've stepped up the game. And we're going to be one of those group of 5 teams that's really, really good. Along with probably a good portion of our conference. Mid-Tennessee State, Rice obviously showing early flashes. 2:25 left. In quarter number 2, Iowa just ground out a really long drive. And Mitchell's going to have to throw on the run. Coleman picks up 9. Toe tapped his way back a yard. 30 yards early for Coleman. I believe I think he's a sophomore too. I'll have to check when I get a second. But Newton and Gaither, the 2 big attractions outside of Mitchell on this offense. We're going to sling it to Walker for a 15-yard pickup. But Gaither and Newton are going to attract a lot of attention, being the stud sophomores they are. Going to open up this offense big time for guys like Mitchell. And as we just saw, Walker. Coleman out of the slot. As Ragsdale, once again, big-time pickup. Just doing the Oscar Attaway job here. Picking up big gains. Kind of takes some pressure off the passing game, except Attaway turned himself into a superstar. Which Ragsdale could do. I mean, this offensive line's done a good job of moving the pile early. Not such a good job here in pass pro. As Mitchell scrambles for 12. But the run blocking has been good, and historically for us it has been good. The pass blocking has lacked, which going forward probably should look for more pass pro-y linemen. As Mitchell's gonna fling one up, and it's almost intercepted. I think that was Newton we were looking for. And I know this is a lot of talking, but you know, it's been a couple months. Trying to get back in the swing of things here, especially with this team. There's a lot to keep up with. Coleman's going to open up right over the middle and get tackled inside the 5. Once again, right on the doorstep. Iowa's defense leaving big gaps. I would kind of like to get Chris Mitchell a passing touchdown here. It might come back to bite me, but we'll just take the easy out. Go with the read option. But a lot of storylines that I need to pick up on or keep growing, because it's a really interesting position we're in. As Ragsdale draws 3 defenders and Chris Mitchell has the 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. But there's just so many interesting storylines here, especially, you know, being the small team from the small conference with a superstar quarterback starting and one in the pipeline. Kyle Woods is a dog. And Rice giving Stanford a run for their money. That's what we were just talking about. Team that played us tough last year. But man, this season is going to be interesting. Our first as a head coach. We're set up really well. We're also set up to move up to big things, which we'll have to talk about as the season progresses. But for now, we're going to keep our eyes forward. Hopefully our defense can get a stop, and we can head to the locker room with a 7-point lead. Wow, quick 3-and-out and really good field position for us. And Mitchell's going to lob one up. Walker had it in his hands and dropped it. That would have been a great start to the drive. What a ball by Chris Mitchell. He's really starting to put his mark on this one here early. Starting to find the early connections with Coleman as he takes a shot. Look out, kid. Mitchell, $184 here in the first half. We're going to go with shakes again. This play is one of my favorites to run. Nick Newton was open, but Brandon Key's great recovery. Drive starting to stall out a little bit. 2nd and 10, 25 seconds left. Have to show a little bit of a sense of urgency. And Newton, wide open. Beat Keys that time. Stiff arm. Can he get to the end zone? No, he's stopped at the 3. Nick Newton, first catch of the year. And the sophomores starting to show out here on the outside. Obviously, Clayton Gaither had, I think, 180 yards in a game last season. Looking to get open here. Gaither wide open. Touchdown on the slant. We'll take a 2-touchdown lead to the half. And how sweet is this? You end the half with a touchdown and you get the ball as a reward. We're going to have to get rid of it quickly. Ragsdale picks up 9. Had a backer or a corner come on the blitz. But the offense showing the early firepower here. 230, basically 230 yards for Mitchell in half number 1. And then obviously the mobility to do this. Breaking a tackle to go along with it. Picks up 19. And this is exactly the things he's going to do all season long. Defenses are going to have to be able to contain him. And even if you do a good job in your rush lanes like the defensive line just did there, you still have to worry about him just sliding out of the little creases and crevices that are made in the pocket. And then you have to tackle him. Not done by the first defender, but Oliver Mitchell does it there on the back end of the play. But yeah, Chris Mitchell, so dynamic. We had huge hopes for him last season. I can't say he didn't live up to him because he did. Just not in the sense that I think the nation thought he would, where he would be a sophomore that wins the Heisman. So we're struggling on this drive. But I mean, he did really good. Still led us to a conference title, 11-3, which was the same as his freshman record. So I mean, it was still a productive season. You can't take that away from him. He just did not quite live up to the national hype. He lived up to the hype, I think. Well, not the hype, but the expectations I had set for him after a really good freshman year is he's going to bust off a 3-yard run there. Should have been more, but couldn't quite get past that first tackle. Great hit by Tommy Snyder. Big right tackle. But it's going to be a lot of what can our defense do. Our defense is really going to have to propel us along. I think our offense can score with anybody. We saw that in the Western Kentucky game in the season before, where we lost in, I think, 5 overtimes.
From the 22-yard line, it's first down.
But now that we're the head coach, it's a different kind of pressure on us. As the coach of this team, we're in charge of everything. If the defense isn't good, we can't just be like, oh, it's the defensive coordinator's fault. No, it's our fault. It's our schemes that we're putting together. The offense has kind of always been on our shoulders, but the offense is outside of the first half of the first season, when Cason Martin was our starter, it has treated us really well, and there's not been really many complaints from me. As Mitchell again finds pay dirt. I think that's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. As the route's on here in Des Moines. We gave up a touchdown. I really don't know how. I thought we forced them to punt. And I guess we fumbled. They're talking about ball security. We're going to fade away and throw it to Gaither off the back foot. 20-yard pickup. This is a kid, 4 catches, 110 yards for Clayton on the day. He's a Blitnikoff, future Blitnikoff winner. I'm fairly certain of that. Especially with Chris Mitchell this year and next year. And then after that, we have Kyle Woods in the pipeline, who we saw him in garbage time last year. He's an incredible talent. He really good arm talent. Not as good of an athlete as Chris Mitchell, who goes over the 300-yard mark. But this team is in really good hands. We just need to shore up some depth things. Running back's another thing we're going to have to look at. We need wide receivers. We only have 5 on the roster right now. We need to pick some of those up. Griff, if you're watching, you know I'm wide receiver you. But it's just little things, little depth things. Oh, we're in trouble. I don't know how we got out of that, but we did. Chris Mitchell, Houdini in the pocket. 15-yard pickup on what should have been a big loss. But, I mean, usually I have no problem getting corners and wide receivers. I end up with all of them. Way too many of them quite often. Oh, that was almost picked. I hate that route. Got a little happy in the pocket. Happy feet.
37-yard line.
Yeah, just depth things, and then there's, you know, the future is uncertain. Obviously, we want to move up to higher levels, do bigger programs. Michigan being the end all be all. That's where we want to get. Where we want to get. I think, you know, the series isn't gonna end when we get there. We'll just find other things to do. Maybe we'll do a death penalty or something. I've tossed around the ideas because I don't want something like this to end. I want to see how good of a legacy we can build. As the third quarter is going to end, leading 35-21. Try and get through this as quick as possible, or through the cutscene, not the fourth quarter. But, you know, I want to see where the possibilities go. I've got some other things lined up, like a what-if series, as Keys probably drops his, what should have been his second pick of the day. But I have a what-if series lined up. If you guys remember from episode 1, I did that little crappy origin story. And why we're even here is Mitchell had him burnt and Keys finally gets himself one. Oh man, that kind of sucks. Mitchell had him beat and he just bumped into him. But yeah, so plenty of stuff in the pipeline college football wise. Obviously a lot of iRacing stuff, but we got to keep building the stories here and see where this goes. I mean, it's a really intriguing deal we have here and I'm enjoying it a lot to this point. And I hope you guys are too, even though it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but I promise this series will be back and better than ever, at least once a week from here on out. We are just going to cut it loose with Chris Mitchell because we got to build that confidence and take care of the touchdown interception ratio. Oh, that might be clipping. I'm surprised that's not coming back. That was very clearly a block in the back. Good run by Mitchell.
From the 26-yard line.
The maturation of a young quarterback. No, the maturation of an idiot holding a controller.
He gives a pump fake.
Rocket to Clayton Gaither. He'll pick up a first down.
Around the 15-yard line.
Steamed that one in there. That's one of my favorite things to hear when I'm watching a football game and somebody just throws a laser, a dart. Steamed it in there. Oh, that was not good. I thought we were going to throw that over his head. Oh my. Almost a second interception. Yeah, in case you're wondering, I definitely still am not good at the game. Better than I used to be, but haven't played in a while. We're picking it back up. I want to get back in a routine. At least one of these a week. A couple races a week. Killing it on TikTok. Follow my TikTok. I think it's the real John K or the real JK or something. I don't know. Some good iRacing TikToks. Kind of just trying to fill that air. We're up by a lot. And we're going to throw another touchdown. Had the stats. We're up 41-21. 327 for Mitchell. 2 tutties and a bad interception. I will take it. We're going to knock the extra point through. Up 3 touchdowns. I think we forced a turnover. We're deep in their territory, and I did not see a punt return. You know, I kind of have to make up to... I messed up the series a little bit by completely forgetting to record the biggest part of the story, which was waiting to see if Seth Luttrell would leave. And I didn't record it, so... I owe you guys at least an episode a week for a while. And I owe it to myself, too. Like I said, I really enjoy this series. We have nowhere to go. That's a coverage sack. And this is, like I've been saying the whole last half of the videos, we've kind of opened it up here on Iowa. This is a really cool series. It could go a lot of cool directions. I love the storyline-based stuff. That should have been another interception. Brandon Keys again. He flipped-flopped sides. We're going to try our hand at a field goal. It's not going to be pretty. And I think it's good. Iowa scores a garbage time touchdown. We're going to walk out of here with at least a 45-29 win, at the least. Maybe more, depending on how I'm feeling. Ragsdale chugs ahead for 21. Or, not for 21, for 9. Makes it a 2nd and 1. I saw that. Whatever. Iowa burned a timeout. Don't burn timeouts. I will burn you. Ragsdale, good vision. First down. This idiot's taking timeouts. No, that's it. I was trying to be nice. This is a good start to the season, though, outside of, you know, a bad interception by me. This is why I don't play all the games. Oh, wow. I don't know what that was by Chris Mitchell. Yeah, I need to get back in the swing and so I can be good at the game and not trash. Gaither picks up 7, and that's a timeout again. Pissing me off, coach. You don't want to see me later in the season, Bob. I'll put up 80 on you. I ain't scared. Mitchell sets, fires, first down. Will be nice. At least turn on the conservative clock for him. We're still going to try and score a touchdown, though. I don't take too kindly to elongating the game. Oh my god. I hit the corner in the back. Just not enough room. No respect for the Hall of Fame CPU, as Chris Move would say, even though this is definitely not Hall of Fame, and, you know, Chris Gaither. Touchdown! Don't call timeouts on me. 354 for Chris. CM3. We're going to win 52-29 against Iowa. If Stanford hangs on against Rice, that's a scary one. That should play right into our hands, though, down the stretch. We're going to have to take on the Owls later this season, and that might be a game we play, even though I've played them, I think, the last 2 seasons. But we shall see. We're going to walk out of here with a 59-29 dub, 52-29 dub, whatever. I skipped through it, but no surprise. Chris Mitchell, your player of the game. We'll get to his stats momentarily. Wow, our defense stepped up. How about Mukes and Miller out on the edges? 9-20 for Iowa passing the ball. We go 22 of 35 for 354 with CM3. Also ran for 175 yards. It's pretty good. Pretty good. 6 of 12 on third downs for them. Not that good for our defense. But we had 2 turnovers. Lost a fumble. And we got picked off. Definitely not my fault. Almost 600 yards of total. 600 total yards. 529 yards of total offense. Really good showing here in game number 1. Chris Mitchell obviously balled out, making an early statement in the Heisman conversation. Can he keep it up the rest of the season? We'll have to find out. Akaika Ragsdale. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to say it. 82 yards for Ragsdale, a touchdown. Chris Mitchell, 6 total touchdowns on the day, 93 yards on the ground. Clayton Gaither opens up the season with a classic. 8 catches, 142 yards, 2 tutties. Brandon Coleman, he is indeed a freshman. He's a 74 overall. 5 catches, 84 yards. Nick Newton, 4 catches, 68 yards. Stephen Walker, 3 for 36. The offense showed up. Ragsdale gave up the lone sack. On defense, we didn't force any turnovers, but Matthew Irvin comes out of the gates. My dogs are barking. Stop barking, dogs. Comes out of the gates with 8 tackles, 4 of them for loss. Gandy had 3 tackles for loss and a sack as the defense shows up. And that's all we've got from Des Moines. I will see you guys back as we kind of wrap this thing up. Get ready for week 2. Well, I don't know how, but We start out 1-0 and we lose a spot in the rankings. I hate it. But we're going to gear up. We have SMU next week. A big-time rivalry game. Not sure if we're going to play it or if we're going to play something else. We had an NCAA Player of the Week. Can only assume. Chris Mitchell, NCAA honors for the redshirt junior. Onward and upward for the mean green. Wow, I totally butchered that, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't know how we lose a spot, but okay, Arkansas beat ranked Ohio State. Big whoop. That should not get them over us. That's frustrating, but it is what it is. We start out the season 1-0. Chris Mitchell starts his bid for the Heisman. If you guys liked it, make sure to crush that like button. Let's try and get 2 likes on the video. Make sure to subscribe for more Gutter to Glory content, iRacing content, maybe F1 content coming soon with the drop of the new F1 game. We shall see if you like the story-based stuff. And that's all we have for you guys this week. We'll see you next week as we take on somebody. Starting it off with SMU. See you guys next week.